Welcome to Quick Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to go over vector versus raster artwork. So let's head over to my vector versus raster artwork board. To start, let's go over vector. The main difference between vector versus raster artwork is that vector images can be sized to any size without losing quality. So as you can see, we have a square here in the middle, and I'm just going to resize it by stretching it a little bigger. And this is just like vector images. As you can see, the square is still a square after I've made it bigger. What makes vector images great is that you can resize them to any size. So I'm just going to make this square even bigger. And that is a vector image. It can be sized to any size and still retain its shape, so it's still a square. So let's take a look at how raster images are different than vector images. Raster images are made up of tiny little pixels of color. It's almost like a puzzle, made up of little different pieces. So here is a raster image, and say we want to make it bigger. So I'm going to start spreading out the puzzle pieces. The farther I spread out the puzzle pieces, the more the image becomes distorted. That is a raster image. The larger you make it, the more distorted it will become. So that is the main difference between a vector image and a raster image. Let's transfer the concepts we just learned about vector versus raster and make an artwork file. As you can see, we have a vector and a raster image. Just looking at them this way, they both look completely the same. But let's zoom in and take a closer look. So on the vector image, we're going to click on it, and as you can see, a bunch of little points popped up. That's an indication that it's going to be vector. So let's stretch it and see what happens. As you can see, the bigger I made it, the image still stayed the same. Let's zoom in real close. The edges of the image are still smooth no matter how big I make it. And that's what makes vector vector, is that it can be sized to any size and all the lines will still be smooth on the edges. Let's go over to the raster image. As you can see, when I click on the image, there's a box that goes around the image. This is an indicator that it could possibly be raster. Let's make the raster image bigger. And let's zoom in on the edges. As you can see, the edges have become pixelated and blurry. That is the main difference between vector and raster. Vector you can size to any size and it still retains its quality. Raster, when you make it bigger, it starts to become pixelated and blurry. This has been another Quick Tip Tuesday, and I'll see you next time.